Hello and welcome to News Now. I am Perpetua Fasome Peter. Now the news in detail. The convoy of the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, was attacked in Maiduguri, Borno State on Wednesday. At least 74 persons were hospitalized while over 100 vehicles were vandalized as hoodlums from different political parties clashed when presidential candidate of the PDP, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, stormed Maiduguri for campaign rally. The PDP spokesperson for the Atiku Okowa presidential campaign, Dino Melaye, accused the All Progressives Congress, APC, of trying to stop their campaign in the state by deploying thugs to attack them. He said, and I quote, "They deployed their thugs to attack our convoys with stones, sticks, machetes, as well as we left the Shehu's palace to come to the Ramat Square, all in an attempt to stop our rally." End of quote. He lamented that the thugs were deployed in many strategic locations to attack their supporters. But according to him, they want to assure them that nobody can stop them. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo on Wednesday presided over a hybrid meeting of the Federal Executive Council at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. President Muhammadu Buhari is away in the United Kingdom for a routine medical checkup. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, Chief of Staff to the President, Ibrahim Gambari, and the National Security Advisor, Major General Babagana Munguno, retired, attended the meeting physically. Ministers physically present at the meeting are those of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, and Abubakar Malami, Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice. Others are Ministers of Aviation, Hadi Sirika, Police Affairs, Mohammed Dingyadi, Science and Technology, Ogbonaya Ono, Minister of State for Health, Adeleke Mamora, Minister of Power, Abubakar Aliyu, and Mines and Steel Development, Olamilekun Adegbite. At the last meeting on Wednesday, FEC, that's FEC, approved the variation order for the East-West Road Project Sections 1 to 4 from 246 billion naira to 506 billion naira. And moving on, the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, said 840,000 Nigerian children were displaced by the recent flooding incidents across the country. UNICEF warned that the children are suffering the most from the adverse impacts of this year's widespread floods. The United Nations agency added that more than 27 million children worldwide are at risk due to devastating flooding that has posed threats, including death by drowning. The message by UNICEF was delivered at the ongoing COP27 in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt. The UN agency warned that at least 7.7 million children in 27 countries were affected by flooding. Some of the worst hit countries are Nigeria, Chad, Malawi, among others. Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, Brigadier General Mohammed Buba Marwa, retired, has said that seamless exchange of intelligence and strengthened collaboration among African countries will help the continent surmount the daunting challenge of illicit drug trafficking and abuse. Brigadier General Marwa stated this on Wednesday at the ongoing 30th Conference of Heads of Drug Law Enforcement Agencies Africa in Nairobi, Kenya, a stand widely supported by other countries represented at the gathering. While briefing the meeting on the gains so far recorded by Nigeria in the fight against drug abuse and illicit drug trafficking, Marwa said there is the need for all to put in place a national coordination mechanism that will ensure coordinated action against the menace. Marwa expressed optimism that the canvassed synergy will facilitate the speedy dismantling of drug trafficking cartels across Africa through a more vibrant, holier platform. The NDLEA boss was earlier elected unanimously the vice chairman of the conference, chaired by the host country, Kenya. Minister of Interior Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola has assured the African Union delegations of Nigeria's readiness to partner with the African Union in achieving the free movement of persons within ECOWAS countries. Aregbesola gave the assurance while playing host to African delegations who paid a courtesy visit to him in Abuja on Tuesday. The minister stated that the delegations should rest assured that he is a partner in the realization of the protocol of free movement of persons, goods and services across the sub-region. He, however, said the bloody aftermath of insurgencies constitutes a major threat to the realization of the free movement protocol, especially to countries within the Sahel region, a condition that has caused Nigeria to be hesitant in implementing the protocol. Aregbesola said in furtherance to the realization of free movement across the sub-region, The Nigerian government has introduced a visa on arrival policy to expedite movement. Permanent Secretary Dr. Shuai Belgore, who was present during the courtesy call, said the Nigerian government's hesitance to implement the protocol is based largely on insecurity, but assured the team that consultation is ongoing with other stakeholders in actualizing free movement of persons and goods across the region. And moving on, the Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC) has warned Nigerians to stay away from mobile applications from the mobile apps group. According to the Commission, the group had been discovered to release apps containing Trojans and hardware that were harmful to users and their privacy. The NCC CSIRT stated this in an advisory on Tuesday. It explained that the consequences of installing the malicious apps included the user being bombarded with advertisements, theft of sensitive user data, clicking on the ads resulting in the stealth download or installation of additional malware, as well as the user privacy and data being jeopardized. Determined to revamp her health sector, the Oyo State government, led by Seyi Makinde, has delivered 97 8 kVA generating sets to all its primary healthcare centers across the state. The state executive, who was represented by the Executive Secretary, Primary Healthcare Board, Muideen Olatunji, explained that the generating sets were largely procured for proper functioning of communities in the state, though to be warehoused at the respective primary healthcare centers. In addition, Governor Makinde assured that plans were in advanced stage to address all infrastructure deficit, as well as place more premium on the welfare of health workers across the state.
To take in as a symbolic demonstration to our various facilities, those generating sets that will be sent and attached to each of the 351 primary healthcare facilities in Oyo State. So the first phase is the delivery of 98 generating sets to all primary healthcare facilities as of today. And that is why we have our community leaders here and our chairman to witness this laudable objective. So that you see that our effort is a work in progress. And we are going to improve. After this, we are going to go to the level of equipping of all these facilities, so that when we go to the facilities, we can say there what we can achieve outside the country in the Western world and actually be available in Oyo State. And we are going to be a true base-setting state for every state in the country to follow. And
it will go a long way to help our services at the primary healthcare facilities. You know, if there is no light, there is virtually nothing that can be done in the dark. And you know the nature of our duty, we run afternoon, morning and night shifts. So the generator is going to help us to discharge our duties effectively for the 24 hours of our services.
The chairman of Anambra State Fire Service, Martin Agbili, says about 80 shops were affected when fire raised a section of Omogu Market in Onitsha, Anambra State, Nigeria's southeast. The fire started after an explosion at the chemical and surgical line of the market on Tuesday, with many people feared dead and goods worth millions destroyed during the incident. The fire chief clarified that the fire incident only affected science and lab line of the market and not the entire market. The Deputy Governor of Anambra State, Onyeka Chukwuibezim, visited the market alongside the Commissioner for Power and Water Resources in the state, Julius Chukwuemeka, to commiserate with the victims. The Kano state government, in collaboration with its development partners, would distribute insecticide-treated nets across the 44 local government areas of the state. The Commissioner for Health, Dr. Aminu Sanyawa, disclosed this while briefing newsmen in Kano. Sanyawa said the Ministry and National Malaria Elimination Program, in collaboration with Society for Family Health, were currently implementing the 2022 ITN campaign in Kano. The Commissioner further said the Kano State Ministry of Health, in collaboration with the National Primary Health Care Development Agency, partner agencies, and other key stakeholders, would vaccinate children from 9 to 44 months with the yellow fever vaccine across the state. Sanyawa commended Governor Abdullahi Ganduje for his government's efforts to improve the health sector in the state. He lauded the commitment of the National Primary Health Care Development Agency and development partners for their support in improving the healthcare sector in the state. The Bayelsa state government has fixed November 21 as a resumption date for public, private, secondary and primary schools after a 6-week flood-induced holiday. Commissioner for Education, Dr. Gento Emela, said the extension was due to the slow pace with which the flood waters are receding in some parts of the state. Emela in a statement said, and I quote, "Government wishes to charge operators of the private sector to maintain the government-approved calendar." The state government also charges all stakeholders in the education sector to remain vigilant and ensure strict adherence to all school safety regulations in the face of the receding flood. End of quote. Lagos State Governor Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu has declared open the ongoing 35th National Festival for Arts and Culture, NAFEST 2022. The opening ceremony at the Mobala G. Johnson Stadium, Unicon, Lagos, saw the representation of the Federal Capital Territory and 36 states of the country. Several artistic and cultural performances are on display, with the Director General of National Council for Arts and Culture, Otumba Shegun, describing this year's festival as a lubricator of renewed synergy by the Council and Lagos State Government for the special purpose of reuniting Nigerians for a greater tomorrow.